Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Today is going to be a special episode because I am dropping a series. I'm dropping a 5 episode series from right now, and you can binge the next 5 episodes because this series is going to kick off something that makes my heart just so happy that this series is going to be something you can binge to truly know if my world and the Breadwinner Energy Academy and or Mastermind possibly are for you. And it's going to be really easy to just jump in, listen to these episodes, completely change the way that you see yourself and your business. And then it will tell you, is this the place for you? Is this the place where you want to come and completely change your life and build your empire? This series is called From Ashes to Empire. And this is going to be how you're going to have your biggest breakthrough in your life, in your business, your income, all the things. I have now been in business starting my 10th year, and I have so many of my own stories and journeys and things that I have been through to pull myself from the ashes over and over and over again. And that is what has built the life, the business, the things that I have today. And I think for me, I've been reflecting on the last 10 years in business, which I can't even believe it's been that long. It's been insane. And I feel like for the first time in 10 years, everything has come full circle. And every time I think about it, talk about it, it like literally brings me to tears because we just launched our website, our brand new website, which was this is like a rebrand and a full rebirth from last year, from 2024, from the beginning of 2024, which is so crazy that from the beginning of 2024 until we're now at the end of October 2025. That is how long my rebirth has taken. And I thought that my rebirth was like over in the summer of this year, but now, like looking back, I'm like, it has totally come full circle to this moment right now, right here. Our new website is launched, our rebrand is launched, my 2 new images shoots have dropped. My signature offers are launched and loaded. My 3 year plan is ready to go. And I am on fire. Like I just feel, I can feel the fire. And I know that if you know what that's like, you know what that's like. Like it is no better feeling than the fire. And as I'm looking back and not only my last year's rebirth, but I'm looking at these last 10 years. It's so crazy to see all of the things that I went through and thought were like the thing to lead to this moment. And I've been in business for so long. I've coached so many people. I've now made like friends in the industry that are like JV partners and literally just friends I talk to every single day and peers that I've been a part of masterminds with to clients that I've coached. And I think there is a very, very big difference in wanting to be an online business owner because you can conveniently make money and being someone who changes lives. I genuinely think there is a huge, huge difference in those two types of people and the way that they show up to their business, the way that they run their business. And for me, while don't get me wrong, I love money and I want to make a lot of money. The thing that I absolutely love doing here is changing lives. There is no better feeling in the world than to change someone's life. And I get messages pretty regularly from people. My husband like always jokes about it because a lot of my clients are older than me, but they're like, you have totally changed my life forever. Like my life will never be the same after this. Every time I talk about it, I want to cry because like this is why I went through all of the things that I went through to be in this moment with you right now, right here in perfect aligned timing to change your life. And I had to go through so many things at such a young age to be able to transmute them into power, into my own voice, my own magic, my own healing, uncover my own gifts, understand what I'm here to do, and to also have a deep, deep understanding of life, of trauma, of again, transmuting the energy. On this podcast, if you go back to, the episodes from pretty much like the summer till now, there's episodes about me talking in depth about my rebirth, my healing, my journey. And so if you want to know more about like my rebirth and all of the things I went through, go back to those episodes because these 5 episodes are going to be like, we're going to dig in. But I wanted to kick off Ashes to Empire because in this way, because this is a true Ashes to Empire story for myself and then for all of my clients. The women that come in my world have a story. They have a journey. They have things that they've been through. They have chronic illness, trauma, like there's lists of things that they've been through, divorce, abuse, childhood trauma, adult trauma. And that is what has molded them into who they are today to use their story to create healing for others. And if you're in my world, that's probably you, if we're being really honest. Like you are here because you want money. You're here because you want freedom, but you're also here because you want to make a really, really big impact. So over the next 5 episodes, I'm going to be dropping in my juicy goodness for you about how you're going to completely go from ashes to empire. This is going to be energetically. This is going to be like a literal quantum leap for you. It's going to be strategic. And I cannot wait for you to binge all of these episodes and then come tell me every single thing. I love, love, love it when you guys listen to the podcast and then you come tell me, you DM me, you join the vault, you join my free community, which is the vault, and you come and tell me like, oh my God, this changed my life. I binged your podcast. This has changed the way that I think, the way that I feel. It is so cool to hear from you guys. So please continue to share your stories with me. So, over the next 5 episodes, today we're going to talk about your soul is screaming for more because you are stuck in the comfort zone. The next episode is going to be your perfectionism is killing your edge. Oh my God, please. If you have any ounce of perfectionism in your body, please listen to that episode. Your butthole is squeezed so tight, and that is what is holding you back from big, big success. Episode 3 is going to be why you are invisible and no, it is not your strategy. Number 4 is going to be your biggest cash months are forged in the fire. And then we're going to wrap up with big bitch energy, how to dominate in the next year. Okay. Before we get into today's episode though, I have a very, very special announcement. I have decided to do something really fun. There's certain things that I just choose to do in my business. And if they're not like a fuck yes, they're a no. That's my human design. I'm a generator, but I'm a 6'2" hermit role model. So what that means is like I have to like go into like hermit mode, like really transmute things and then come out and like be a role model and share my wisdom. And also my authority is sacral. So it's a fuck yes or it's a no. And when this came, this two things dropped in at the same time, which was this 5 series podcast thing. It was like an immediate fuck yes. I was like, oh, that's so fun. That's so exciting. And the second piece of this was what I'm about to tell you. And I was like, oh, this is so exciting. So I have decided to do 50 founding members inside of the Breadwinner Energy Academy for 50% off. What that means is you can enroll right now inside of Academy, and we will either double the price at the end of the year on December 31st, or if we hit 50 members first, the price will double. 50 founding members, 50% off inside the Breadwinner Energy Academy. So you can go down in the show notes right now and click the Academy and join immediately for 50% off to be one of our first founding members. The Academy is the rebirth of you. I need you to hear me when I say this. It is non-negotiable. And that is going to be something that I say over these next 5 episodes. The rebirth of you is non-negotiable. Whether you've made $0 in business, whether you've made 50K or 500K, this is non-negotiable. And honestly, I could have not taught this or even birthed this program had I not gone through my own biggest rebirth that I went through last year in 2024 and burned down my whole business that was making multi 6-figure years because I had to learn this exactly in order to teach this from this perspective, okay? Because the breadwinner energy is the death and the rebirth of you, of the woman inside of you that's going to build your empire, that holds your empire, right? You don't like come out of this like a better person. You come out of this the most authentic, aligned, purpose driven part of you. You stop allowing your inner mean girl and your inner critic and your inner child to run your life and run your business, and you start going after big fucking shit that you were meant to do. Like your God given birthed purpose, whatever you believe in, you are going to go after that. Okay. I'm going to light the shit out of your fire and you're going to stay lit. Okay. This space is not for like, it's not affirmations. It's not manifestation. It's not mindset work because all of you here are likely spiritual and self-aware. Like you're probably a literal self-help queen. I guarantee it. But you have not gone where, like, you cannot go where you haven't gone, right? Your business can't go where you haven't gone. So we have to do shadow work, number one, and then alchemize your identity for your empire. So every single level, there's a new devil, there's new shadows. You have to alchemize your identity for that and then regulate your nervous system for that. And then we embody your highest self, which is also like your soul, that your purpose that you came here. And when you leave this container, your life will be forever changed. Because once you do this work, once you see the things that I'm going to show you, you will never unsee them. You will stop leaking energy. You will stop staying in the comfort zone. You will stop holding yourself back. And trust me, the things I'm going to talk about are things I'm seeing from women who are making money. Like you're making money in business. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. You're making money and yet you still have shadows because that's how it is. You don't get rid of them. You alchemize them into your power. You are still holding yourself back in some ways, and or there is some kind of block, identity block, nervous system block that is holding you back from bigger shit from your empire. And that's what happens in the Breadwinner Energy Academy. It is the prerequisite to my mastermind. Inside my mastermind, we build your empire strategically. Like we are literally building your 3-year plan, your strategies for lead generation, for marketing, for sales, for a literal year of launches, a year of what are we selling? What are we talking about? When are we talking about it? What are the systems that need to be put in place? What is the team that needs to be put in place to go to 6 and multi-six figures? And if you have not done academy, if you have not done the prerequisite, if you have not done the shadow work, the nervous system work, the identity work, we cannot get to planning and mastermind. And that is why the mastermind, number one, is only open 2 times a year. It is application only. And I highly, highly suggest you go through the academy first, even if you think I've done all the mindset work. I have testimonial after testimonial of psychics, of hypnotherapists, of literal women who are extremely self-aware, who have done mindset work, who still needed this container. And when you come into mastermind, you need to be ready to make bigger decisions. You need to be ready to make 500K plus decisions. And so if you're not there energetically, right? If you can't make 200K, 400K, 500K decisions, it's because of an identity problem. It's not a strategy problem. And that has to be cleaned up. So my mastermind enrollment just closed. It will not reopen until April of 2026, which gives you plenty of time to go through the academy and then be ready in April for mastermind. And I really suggest you come and clean this up, and you clean up and start to alchemize and embody your highest self. Like you're going to have practice after practice embodying your highest self. So the first 50 members get 50% off. The link is below. Go be a founding member. Okay, let's jump in. By the end of these 5 episodes, you will totally know if this space is for you, if my mission of being the breadwinner of your own life, mentally, physically, financially, is the space for you, and if my world and my 2 containers are the space for you. In my world, you stop letting your broke ass inner child run your life and run your business. You stop letting your mean girl make every decision for you, and you build a fucking empire that changes your life, your children, and everyone after you, as well as your community and thousands of people that you interact with. Okay, are we ready? Let's go. In this episode, I'm talking about your soul is screaming for more. Stop being so fucking comfortable. I have heard from so many people say this. I'm making money. It's working. I should just be grateful for where I am. I don't really need that much. But the truth is, there is that little voice that continues to whisper over and over and over again and then screams because she wants more, because you have not fully embodied your purpose, your magic, what you're here to do. And there's a piece of you that's like, knows you could go bigger, but you keep saying, I should just be grateful for where I am. I should just be happy with what I have. And you stay fucking comfortable. You're suffocating and silencing your higher self, your purpose, and your magic that would make a bigger, bigger, bigger impact because you're afraid of fucking it up. Because earlier in this episode, we talked about how if you're in my world, you want to make impact, you want to change lives. But right now, you have hit a ceiling of changing lives and making money because you are afraid if you go bigger, something bad will happen to you. If you go bigger, maybe it will be taken from you. If you go bigger, what if you fuck it all up? And right now, it's working. Right now, it's giving you Fridays off. Right now, it's giving you some time with your kids. Right now, it's giving you some money to be comfortable and grateful. But that voice inside of you is still fucking screaming. She's still screaming for more. And the most dangerous place to be in business isn't actually broke, it's comfortable. Because when you're broke in business, you have this mentality to go fucking after it. You have this mentality to change your life. You have this mentality that's like, I will do whatever it takes to go, 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 to do it, to have it. That's what happens when you're broke. You have this fucking fire inside of you that's like, let's go, let's go, let's go. But when you're comfortable, that's the most dangerous place to be. Maybe you're making 5K months, 10K months. Maybe you're making even more than that, right? And everyone's like, oh my God, you're doing so good. Your family's so proud of you. People are impressed. People are like, oh my God, I can see that you're doing so well. Your coach is impressed. But secretly, inside, you're not sharing with anyone is that you want more and you're so afraid to go after it and you keep talking yourself and walking yourself off that ledge. I cannot tell you how many women I coached that told me their big ass, scary ass dreams and then turned around and walked themselves backwards and said, well, I don't really need to do that. I don't really need that. It would be nice to have, but no. Your soul is here for a purpose, for big fucking shit. Because if you're in my world, I know for a fact you're here for big fucking shit. I know that. Like, I just do. You would never enter my world if you weren't meant for big shit because being in my world is a pressure cooker for big shit. Like, I'm literally going to hold you to the fucking fire and be like, you can do this. You are meant for this. And you wouldn't even dare to come here. You wouldn't even be interested. You wouldn't be like peeking around watching silently if you knew you weren't meant for big shit. But there's something inside of you that tells you, I know you are. You know it. I know you feel it. And I know exactly what that feeling is because I feel this feeling on a regular basis. And every time I start to go into the comfort zone, start to get comfortable, I start to be grateful for where I'm at, right? Whatever. It's that little like, it's just this feeling inside that's like, no, we came here for bigger. We came here for more. We came here to blow this shit up and change lives. And that's what we're going to do, right? That urge keeps creeping in. That little voice that your soul knows you're meant for more keeps creeping in. But here's why you stay where you're at because you're afraid to fuck it up. You're afraid to fuck up what's working. You're like, I should just be grateful because this is so much money, more money than I've ever made before, more money than my parents have made, more money than anyone I know has ever made. I should just be grateful for where I'm at. What if I risk it? What if I risk it and then it all falls apart? Clients leave me, people hate me, people unfollow me. Maybe this is just what I meant to do. But then there's like, but no. Like that voice in there is like, no. So when you go into this comfort zone, what happens is you start to resent things, clients, your business. Maybe you start undercharging, like you know you're undercharging and you know you're over delivering. And so you've capped yourself, but then you're like burnt and resentful. And now you feel like, well, I'm making decent money, but I'm also like, I don't exactly have the freedom, but like I do have Fridays off, right? And then you start to like bargain with yourself over this shit. You start feeling more exhausted. You can feel yourself like trading more time for money, and you can feel that you're not like leveraging scale. You're not outsourcing, you're not putting things in your business that would allow you like bigger freedom, bigger impact, bigger money. You can like feel yourself being like, well, I can just handle it here. So I'm just going to do this because if I do more, then I would have to hire and I don't really want to do that because then I have to manage people, right? Instead of thinking of it from an abundant place of like if I were to hire a small, dreamy team that was like bought into my mission the way that I am, I'm now pay like putting food on someone else's table while also they're helping me grow my mission and then I'm helping them grow theirs and together we're like a force and they're giving more freedom and I get to be doing what I absolutely love to do, which is literally what business owners should be doing while they're taking care of the pieces of my business that are necessary but that I don't really love. And you're not thinking of it from this like abundant, exciting place of like a few people on my team would like really fuel this mission and we'd make such a bigger impact. You're thinking like, I would have to manage people. Like, I don't want people on my team that I have to micromanage. That sounds fucking exhausting. This is my life. This is my team. This is my business. This is my dream. I'm doing what I want to do and it's going to work in the way that I want to work. So if the team doesn't give me freedom and flow and ease and the team doesn't fill the mission, and the team requires me to micromanage them, I just need a new team member. Instead of looking at it from this lens of like, it's going to be so hard and so much work, it's like, we get to do this together. Because I cannot tell you, I could not function without my assistant. Like, I couldn't. I wouldn't even know what to do. I know that sounds so spoiled of me, but whatever. Like, she takes off so much of the load. And honestly, thinking of it from this place of like, the more that I have support in my life, the more impact I make and the better mom I get to be and the more I take care of my health and the more I'm a better wife, right? Like that is non-negotiable. You start doubting yourself even like maybe you're not capable of doing more. Maybe you don't have the time, right? Cognitive dissonance starts to eat you alive. Maybe you start numbing out. Like maybe it's like you're doing more Netflix and wine and scrolling and it literally anything to avoid this like inner voice. And you're like, well, it's easier to just like feel this like disappointment. It's easier to feel this like, well, whatever, maybe I'm not meant to do that than it is to like go really, really big and then maybe fail, which if we're being really honest, if you got here and you're making money, the chances of you failing by scaling and doing things in a better, faster, easier way for yourself, honestly, you're probably more likely to fail from comfort zone of burning out than you are to like scale. That's just my 2 cents. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about the truth about like what is working, which is actually the enemy of what is possible because I know for some of you you're like, but it's working. But that is the enemy because what about what is possible, right? You're so afraid to like lose what you have that you don't actually reach for what you want. You're afraid to fuck it up, so you don't even try. And the worst part about all this is like this fear that's eating you up isn't actually even keeping you safe. It's keeping you small. And like I said before, it's probably going to cause resentment and burnout, which is in itself the thing that you're afraid of. You're afraid of fucking it up. You're afraid of it not working. You're afraid, right, of all these things. But in reality, keeping you where you are, staying where you're at, staying in the comfort zone is so much worse. It's going to breed the exact thing you don't want. Resentment, burnout, exhaustion. You're not making as big of impact because you literally don't have the time. Here's the thing. Your higher self, there is a version of you inside. Your soul is screaming for more, and you can ignore her and numb her out and tell her just be grateful, just be grateful. But I know that she will not be quiet. It's like if you have a toddler and your toddler really, really wants or needs something and you ignore that toddler, they're not going to just be like, okay, sounds good, and go live their life. They're going to start kicking and screaming until you notice them. And that is what's going to happen because you know what? She's right. You are meant for more. Your inner child and your probably your inner mean girl, your inner critic, and your highest self are all in alignment on this decision. All of them. They're all like, yeah, actually, you could have more. And your inner child is like, but remember, we had that big dream. And then your inner critic is like, well, you know, you could fail, but like, you should be doing this. And your higher self is like, bitch, I love you, but no, like, you are meant for bigger. And you know that. So the thing is, I'm going to ask you one more time. How long are you willing to stay comfortable and silence your dreams and your purpose and your bigger mission? How many more months are you going to live in comfortable and good enough and being grateful? How much longer are you going to live like this before you just admit, yeah, I do want 30K, 50K months. I do want to make 500K, $1 million years. Yeah, I do want to make a bigger impact. Yeah, I do want more freedom. Yeah, I do want to buy that beach house. Yeah, I do want to pay my kids' college in full. I don't know. Yeah, I want to pay off all my debt and travel. I want to retire my partner. I want to move out of the country. How long until you just decide that comfortable is actually not that comfortable at all because your inner soul is fucking screaming at you that you are capable of so much more? If this is you, you need to be inside the Breadwinner Energy Academy because we are going to alchemize your identity for your next level. You've hit a ceiling in this level, and I'm proud of you, and you've done it, and you've made money, and that is huge. That is huge. Yes, you're right. So many people have never done what you're doing. And also, it's okay to want more. You deserve more, and you're fucking capable of more. And in my world, we're going big and we're never going home. Okay. If this has resonated, come and tell me every single thing that resonated, and then come to the next episode and start binging. Your perfectionism is killing your edge. I will see you in the next episode.